The team that took the first step forward closer to the Eagles was the team that the Eagles destroyed prior to destroying the Chiefs in Washington by acquiring Deebo Samuel. How much closer in your mind did the Commanders get with that move?
Well, I'll tell you this, Rich. I don't know if anybody's happier than Sean McVay and the Rams for this move as well, because Deebo Samuel's the absolute Rams killer. That is for sure. He has seemed to be the guy that they could never stop in these big games against the Niners. So I think when you talk about getting Stafford back, getting Alaric Jackson under contract, their young left tackle, and now Deebo Samuel's out of the division, I don't know if the Rams could be any happier about that move. But for the Commanders, I think he fits great. I mean, what he does and the way that offense is really spread out, and they love to get the ball out of Jaden's hands. Like, I think Deebo is going to be a great answer for them. His ability with screens and, after they catch to get those extra yards. If you really think of how they know huddle and up tempo, he should be a great answer for them. And I think something that's really going to help them when you think about how the Commanders move forward, because one of the things they did really well is their investment in kind of veteran pieces last offseason. They didn't make these crazy splash moves, but they got a lot of guys that came in and were really productive into their career type guys who just came out in their production, their play, their ability to stay healthy. That's what made a difference for them. And they've got to look to renew that this season. I think Deebo is going to be a part of that answer.
Yeah, and then let's return to the Rams thing. Do you think the Niners window is closing? What do you think? Seriously, Andrew?
Listen, I'm never going against Kyle Shanahan, and as long as Trent Williams is there, playing, I also think that they've got something they're going to build that entire offensive around, and the play he has, he's got to be healthy. And then really, I think Purdy continued to show strides last season. I think when people say, all right, did he have all his weapons all year? How many NFL offenses are real productive when all their talent's not healthy? But I thought he showed strides of really playing true, just quarterback position, not as much as, hey, we can run the ball against everybody and we can hit these play actions and all these things off of it. He had to play a lot of real quarterbacks, sitting back there making decisions. I think he showed a lot of growth there. They're going to take care of him, but the model's going to change, Rich. This model has been all this talent they had, continuing to kind of plug and play a quarterback who can play in Shanahan's system. But as soon as they pay Purdy, this whole thing flips. And it starts to become, who are we actually able to afford to keep around here? You got George Kittle's contracts coming up in a year or so, a couple other guys that they're going to have to try and figure out. Trent's not going to be able to play forever. So they've got to have a really good vision for what the next version of what the San Francisco 49ers look like. If you talk about the Rams, that's one of the things they've seemed to do really well. People thought after they went all for it and won it in 21, reloaded in 22 and failed, it's like, all right, now there's no chance they're going to be good for a really long time. But they reloaded and came up with a new version of how they're going to be successful, and you got to see the Niners figure that out.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.